Good morning. I can see a number of people have already joined in. We'll just wait for another probably a minute or so before we kickstart. Yeah, I can see some of more people kicking in. So probably one last minute and then we will start with the webinar. Okay, then I think are we good to start? Hi, good morning, Niam. Hope you can hear me loud and clear.
We can.
Okay, great. So, good morning, all. It's a beautiful sunny Monday morning for me. Obviously, I'm trying my best to be, away from my somber mood, considering what we are facing as the global crisis. And I sincerely wish we would be meeting under very different circumstances. Hopefully, all of you can hear me, although we have put a mute on all so that we don't get a lot of background noises. And obviously, each one of us is being impacted by COVID-19, and all of us are trying to fight this out to the best of our capabilities. So, quick introduction. My name is Gaurav Jairath, and I work as the account director for Evosys across Middle East region. So, what we have today is a webinar on leveraging Oracle's health and safety offerings. Evosys has designed basically a plug-and-play configuration that organizations can use to monitor, review, or resolve any of their employee health incidences. I mean, we have tried to take a cue from what Oracle is marketing. They are marketing this as a free offering from Oracle Applications module, and Evosys, as part of their corporate social responsibility, have taken this step ahead by offering a free implementation for this module. Yeah, so there are a couple of presenters from our side. So instead of passing the control to multiple team members, we have one centralized control with us. So let me start with the team introduction. Some of you would be knowing Surya Nunna, who's our senior vice president for business solutions, and he takes care for Middle East and Asia Pacific region. And we have our expert today, who's a dear friend of mine, Niyam, who's obviously joining from our India office location. Um, not exactly office. I think probably each one of us is working from home. So he's joining from Ahmedabad, working from home. Yeah. So Niyam, can you flick to the next slide, please? Yeah, so what we have today is a 45-minute webinar. So we have principally divided into two halves where we would be walking you through the webinar, and the last 15 minutes would be open for question answer sessions. You can key in your questions, and then me along with my team would try and answer most of the questions. If there are certain open queries, we would definitely revert back to you over your email along with the copy of this presentation as well. So I'm pretty sure that most of you would be aware about what Evosys is. Hence, I will not deep dive through. But to quickly introduce my organization as to what we do, how we do, and where we do. So just a very quick summary about Evosys. So we are a super specialized global Oracle applications partner. We have offices spread across 30 countries. Strong presence in Europe, strong presence in US, Asia Pacific, and Middle East definitely. So unlike most of the organizations who have actually grown in the western part of the world and then come to Middle East, ours has been the other way round. We actually started growing from Middle East almost 13 years back, and then we have expanded our presence to the global regions. So across Middle East, we have multiple offices across major cities, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, and then offices in each of the countries, including Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Oman. So uh, last year, we surpassed more than 1,000 cloud customers, and we are very proud to be the only partner having such a large customer base across the world. In association with to that, last few years, we have received number of awards, including ERP Partner of the Year, HCM Partner of the year. So that's where the focus is on today's session. So I'm very glad to share that we received Oracle's HCM Global Partner of the Year award. And principally the award we received was the contribution that we have done in implementing HCM, whether it is the standard functionalities or even probably bolt-on solutions that we have built. So we work extensively with the product development team at Oracle. From applications perspective, we are 100% dedicated partner in supporting you, whether it is end-to-end cloud transformation deals, or these are multi-pillar deals involving CX, EPM, supply chain, finance, etc. Or in some cases, whether it is re-implementations which are required, and we also don't shy away from single pillar implementation, either of HCM, ERP, CX, or EPM. Yeah. So anything to everything across Oracle applications. We have specialization and skill set to support you all. From a customer point of view, we work extensively both in public as well as commercial sector. Some of the large implementations includes the like of Ministry of Health, Dubai Smart Government, Seha, King Faisal Specialty Hospital, Saudi Railways, etc. And from a sector point of view, we cover principally all major sectors. Whether it is the conglomerates like Zamil Industries or the Nabudas, or if you want to talk about banking customers like Doha Bank, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, or whether it is the likes of the retailers, Galagari Brothers, Vodafone, Aspire, Aster, and the list is pretty extensive. So there are huge benefits in bringing us. What we bring on table is a huge experience, especially working across multiple industries and regions globally. So that's it. I mean, moving forward to the heart of the webinar, I will like to transfer the control to my friend Niam, who would go through this in detail. Hopefully, I've been able to give you a flavor as to what we do, who we are, and what is the prime objective that we want to achieve from today's webinar. So over to you, Niam.
Thank you, Gaurav. It's a good introduction. My name is Niyam, and as Gaurav mentioned, we have had a lot of customers. We've been supporting our partners throughout their businesses, and we did not think that this crisis is any different. We know that Oracle has made the health and safety offering free for its customers, and we thought we should do our bit in making sure that the implementation is free as well, and that we're able to support businesses in their business continuity plans, as well as the main priority right now, which is to protect their employees through this crisis. And I know that navigating this crisis it basically makes timing paramount. And we know that the 40 minutes you're spending with us today right now is also taking you away from that constant firefighting that's happening in your own organizations. So we've tried to build on top of what Oracle is offering and come up with a solution that works, that's quick to implement, and that's targeted specifically for COVID rather than going on a generalist approach. What we've done is we've brought our best minds together, and all the hours that we spent designing this is what I'm going to show you now. We thought of 4 problems that are primary and that we need to address quickly. The first one was, of course, to monitor and contain the spread, to flatten the curves, as it were. The second one was to be able to respond to what we were monitoring. So if there are cases, how do you take actions? What are your learnings? All of those things. Another is, of course, to take decisions, because we all know that business leaders are being faced with an unprecedented need to take quicker decisions, because the landscape, the business landscape, as well as the healthcare landscape is changing week by week, or rather day by day these days, which makes data and information, things that you can, metrics that you can use to take information paramount. And of course, we also thought of the problem that needed to be solving, which is to give employees a voice, giving them an ability to report on cases, giving them an ability to quickly draw attention to areas that may be needing attention. So those are the 4 problems we tried to solve through this. The design philosophy was simple. We know that this needs to be done quickly, and we know it needs to be done efficiently. So we have tried to reduce the learning curve. We have tried to simplify things, and that's been the primary focus throughout our solution design. So the process, and this is something we are going to be seeing a lot of, the general theme of the entire process is just 3 steps: raise, address, and analyze. So we've tried to keep the story very simple. The employee would raise concerns, the health and safety managers can act on it, and business leaders can analyze it to take better decisions. As you can see, the flow is quite simple. Every individual incident, as we call it, of COVID can be reported by an employee for themselves if they're having symptoms, or for a colleague, or for somebody in their family, for instance. They could report that incident. Health and safety managers, who are designated action takers in your organization, the leaders who are making sure that they are protecting the employees and the workforce proactively, they can take actions, and they can record, monitor the actions, monitor the incident, track it, and record the learnings. Finally, the leaders of the organizations and the HR department, who are in the forefront of this at all levels, should be able to view analytics that help them take business decisions accordingly. Who are the people involved? It's, as I said, the story is simple. So you have employees who are incident reporters. You can have health and safety admins or managers who can also report on incidents, but they're the ones who are responsible for them, and they're the ones who are taking them through. You have the HR teams who are in the front lines, and you have the organization leaders who need to take decisions. Very quickly, you can see that when an employee raises an incident or reports an incident, they get an email through which they can track that, through which they can see the details. The health and safety managers, whoever you designate, will also get an email saying that something has been raised, and they can take preventive measures or corrective action as necessary. You can see the interface for employees, as we will see in a minute, is going to be extremely easy. It's just a simple form that they have to fill to report something and to draw your attention to it. The health and safety manager has a lot more flexibility in terms of what they want to track, how they want to do it, what are the details they want to fill in. And these are primarily the users who have access to all the employees, who have access to all the incidents that have been raised by the employees. And they can also record an incident on behalf of an employee. So let's say you have a system where you don't have all employees with access. You can still have this system implemented where the health and safety manager can go ahead and record information on the behalf of employees that they collect over phone or over email, or however whatever the channels may be. You then have for the leaders the analysis part, which we believe we've been working really hard to come up with analytics that help specifically in this situation, and we've tried to make sure that the real-time data is available on the go. All of these things can be used on a cell phone as well. So let's say an employee wanted to report an incident, they could just take out their phone, click a picture, let's say of an office area which needs to be quarantined for some reason, or there's a health and safety hazard, there's disinfection needed. Then an employee could just take out their phones, click a picture, send it off to the health and safety manager, who can then decide to, let's say, disinfect the area or put it under lockdown if for the areas that are still operational. You could have that implemented as well very quickly because it's multi-device. Similarly, the analysis is also on the go. You can constantly monitor what's going on with your workforce. You can check the health of your overall employee force, and you can take decisions that protect them proactively. Some of the dashboards that that Oracle gives out of the box and that we have created specifically for this, just a glimpse of that. We are constantly working to improve our analytics as well. You can see, you can easily track which incidents are overdue, what needs to be taken care of, has there been action taken on everything. This becomes paramount in today's situation, where you have to take quick action and you have to make sure that you're tracking all of this so that nothing goes out of hand. You also have, these are familiar looking dashboards, I expect. You have COVID confirmed, COVID suspected, how many of them have recovered. That's the one that we are most happy to see. You can also see the distribution of severity of the incident. So who is showing extreme symptoms, for example, or what needs urgent attention, for instance. And you can see what is the overdue. So in this case, you can see there's a lot red, which means there's a lot to be done. And you can quickly, in a glance, figure out these insights. Specifically to your workforce, you must have seen these dashboards for a country, for different countries. This is specifically for your organization. What I'm going to show you now is a couple of screenshots that will give you a glimpse of how that story fits in the raise, address, and analyze narrative. So we've already seen the analysis. You can see an employee as an employee. Now, by default, you can report on a lot of things in health and safety. That could include work injuries, that could include illnesses, that could include accidents, etc. Specifically for COVID, we've added some narrative that lets you quickly move forward and filter through that noise for the current situation. You can see there's a note that says to report COVID, just click continue. And we have also put in the WHO advisory here. Now, this could be anything. This could be your organization's instructions, policies during the crisis. This could be other instructions that you want to give for them to report on incidents. This could be an instruction or a help guide that you want to give them in order to be able to report incidents better. It's up to you what you want to put here. But whatever you put here, the employees see while reporting a COVID incident. Reporting is simple. It's based on a couple of questions that you ask. We have made sure that those are simple questionnaires. So you have an employee will be asked things such as tell me the incident details. So what is the incident? Provide more details. Has any action already been taken on this? And what's the level of severity? Another question could be who is reporting this incident? So you might be doing it for somebody else. You might be doing it on behalf of an employee. You might be doing it on behalf of a contractor who may not be in your system yet, but they still show symptoms, and that needs to be tracked because they're part of the larger family, if not the employee family directly. And you could track when it happened. And that's how we can also see time taken to handle something, or what is the aging, whether somebody's been quarantined for long enough. All of those sort of things can be seen from the dates that you're tracking. And again, it's a simple questionnaire-based interface. The employees have a simple form. Once that is done, the health and safety manager or the HNS manager will be able to record more information on it, such as whether there is lost time. Are we losing any business hours because of that? Do they what did they do right before the incident after they investigate further? Does action need to be taken? Do we need to disinfect an area? Do we need to call up other employees and tell them, hey, somebody who's suspected of COVID might have been around you, you might want to get tested, or just self-isolate for a few days? You could do all of that. Again, bear in mind, employees don't see each other's information. So the health and safety managers are the points of contact, and they are the ones who are being discreet about not revealing personal information, etc. And they can transfer, they could pick out all the information they need to, and they can also select the nature of this COVID. So is it suspected, is it confirmed, or has it been cured? And based on that, you are able to see those styles that we saw earlier, which let you report on whether something's been done or whether they're suspected, whether there's a confirmation, have they tested positive, unfortunately, and whenever they're cured, you can mark that as cured so that that's recorded as well. You can see this is bespoke to COVID. We have tried to make it as simple as possible for the current circumstance, and we've tried to make it as useful as possible. This list has a lot of values. We've for now temporarily removed them so that you can focus on what matters at the moment without confusing people. So that's the basic solution. There are a couple of things that we have assumed that need to be there as assumptions, which are that Fusion Global HR, the Cloud Global HR, has to be implemented already in order for this to work, because this bolts on to that. No major personalization has been done. That is to say that the roles can be directly implemented. This is slightly more towards the technical side, and this can be determined on a case-to-case basis. But there's no major personalization that hinders our out-of-the-box implementation. Otherwise, it won't be able to be done rapidly. And of course, compliance, local compliance regulations will be customer responsibility. As I've been saying, this is time critical. So we have tried to design it in a way that it should take no more than a couple of days to be up and running. And it's simple enough. It's out of the box. We've tried to generalize the solution in a way that it can be implemented rapidly. And that's basically the gist of the solution. We could do follow-ups if need be, but that's the gist of the solution. So I think if Gaurav or Surya want to add anything.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks.
Niyam. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Gaurav.
Surya, please. No, no, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Niyam, for the session. Yeah, actually, we have tried our best to put it simple to get the implementation up and running as soon as possible, within a day or 2 days, as Niyam mentioned. With the configurations are made ready, and which sits on the global HR, Fusion HR on the system. So thanks a lot. And if you have any questions, so we are happy to assist you and clarify the questions.
So just to highlight again, if there are any questions, you can put it in the question answer panel and we will be able to answer them right now. We have uh, time left in order to answer questions. You can just put it in the Q&A panel.
And Niyam, just to add one more point, I think regarding the license perspective, Oracle is offering to their existing customers this module as a free of cost, currently with the situation. So just this is another
That is
point to highlight, so that they can try to there will be no additional further investments on licensing or the implementation perspective. Yeah, Niyam, can you clarify this? A question is that the breakup what we have shown in the implementation time frame, 1 hour plus 2 hours, which is 3 days. So I think there is a typo error, right? This is 3 hours, right? What we take time?
so yeah, sure. I'll clarify that.
Yeah,
So
please
this
clarify.
is
Yeah.
the total consulting time and configuration is in terms of person hours. That's the effort hours that it will take. But we expect that the effort will be spread across. So, for example, in terms of total consulting time, we might be having a conversation with you about, what is it that you want to give as instructions? Are there any specifics that you need to address? And the minor changes that we might need to do to fit it specifically for your organization. But that consulting person hour might be spread across, let's say, 2 calendar days. So you might have half an hour today, half an hour tomorrow. So it's that the differences between, we don't expect this to take more than 3 calendar days, but the actual effort within that would be even lower. It'll only be in terms of person. So let's say we take a half an hour call today, half an hour call tomorrow, and we give you the system on the third day. It's that logic.
There is one more question, that implementation part for consulting. So yes, we are doing as a part of the our service, and we are not charging any implementation cost for this consulting, for implementation of the scope what we have shown for this module. Yeah, I think these two are the questions I've seen. I'm able to see.
Yes, I believe these are the questions. So thank you, Surya, and thank you, Niyam, for taking out time and helping us with this webinar. So on a closing note, I think I mean, considering the somber global environment, this is an exciting opportunity for some of the customers who are already using Oracle Cloud Core HR solution. Oracle is providing the license for this particular module as free of cost, and as part of Evosys corporate responsibility, we are happy to implement this module as free of charge implementation. So happy to implement the same within a quick timeline to some of the customers who would be keen to do that. In case there are any requirements, any queries, feel free to write us on business@evosysglobal.com, and we'll revert back to you. Thank you once again, everybody, for taking out time, and you guys have a good, happy Monday and a good week ahead. Thank you.